Big Herc 916, positivity, motivation, keeping you laced up, never settle for average. Go pick you up some merch at bigherc916.com and wash your ass, because ain't nothing worse than a smelly butt. Man, I stumbled across this video and this sister laid it out. You know, a lot of people talk about high-valued men who are strong, masculine, and then you have a lot of women talking about they want a man who is high-valued, that can bring this to the table and have this and that, and they don't take into consideration that they have to bring more to a relationship than their ass, than sex. There are other values that are cherished when it comes to establishing a family if you want somebody to be with you long term, whether that's communication, motherly instincts, things that make a home a home. And you know, it actually has turned into becoming offensive if a woman says, you know, if you ask a woman, does she cook? You know, does she clean? Does she, you know, do things around the house? Oh, I don't do that. I'm independent. I don't need, you know, I don't do all that. Well, I'm not telling you to be a maid. All I'm saying is keeping a clean house. I like to keep a clean house. You know, my wife does stuff around the house, but man, I have no problem doing laundry. I have no problem wiping down the bathroom, the baseboards, doing dishes, you know, on top of fixing on the car, cleaning the yard. I don't have a problem with that, but it's become so blurred, the roles of men and women in relationships. You have now a dysfunctional household, and you have the woman challenging the man, and the man becoming frustrated because he wants a woman that's going to have his back and support him, but not challenge him in his role. And yeah, he's out here working hard, but maybe he's not a part of those 1% of men that are making $1 million a year, whether through entertainment, you know, real estate or sports or what have you. But he's a good worker. He's got his 401k. He's busting ass. You know, where's his respect at? Well, take a listen to this and tell me what you think.
You have been taught to praise and be a part of degeneracy. Be a part of degeneracy when you being slaughtered. You being slaughtered out here, and you got your ass turned up at war. You're at war. Sit down. If all you have to offer is your ass in the air, honey, you are not a soldier out here. You're a prostitute. You're a bad witch, baby. They ain't did nothing different. When they need to confuse you, let me tell you something. Don't you understand a nation can rise no higher than its women? Look at our women. And when we see you, you got your ass in the air. All you have to offer is your sexuality. Your sexuality is not going to get you out of war.
We are at war right now with the family unit. And sex has been weaponized. She's right. She's absolutely right. And you're hearing this out of a mouth of a ex-porn star. I was very sexual at 21, and I wanted to work in adult entertainment, but even when I was working in the industry, I knew this wasn't my end all. I didn't have the connection with a lot of the people in the industry, my peers, and I kind of went to work and didn't hang out. So I didn't, you know, go up the ladder as far as one of these big stars, because there's certain things, like, I don't know, I felt uncomfortable even though I was performing. But you know, I was locked up from 18 to 21, so all I did was look at, you know, fiend books which are porn books in prison. And so when I got out, I was like, man, I got to play catch up. I gotta get my numbers up because I missed, 3 years of having sex when, I was in prison. So porn was my outlet for that. But as far as when I talked to some of the people and I've seen the values and different things, I wasn't like them. I'm not knocking them, but I'm just telling you, I knew I was different. There are certain things that were instilled in me from a young age, and those things would pop in my head, and so, I dabbled in and out the industry, but I always felt there was a bigger calling, and sharing with you guys has been that bigger calling. But yeah, man, when I tell you guys that, you want to find a strong woman to have your back. You want a woman who believes in you, who supports your dreams, your visions, and together you guys can raise a strong family. Nobody wants to grow in a club who's shaking her ass all day. Nobody wants to grow in a club who is just on every guy, even though she has a big ass, which all the women think, oh my God, look at her. Yeah, the guys might want to tap that ass, but they're not trying to wife her. And when she gets into her late 20s, early 30s, and, she finds this guy, but then this guy starts finding out all kinds of things about her past or how he feels, she's compromised because maybe the homie hit it or there's videos and all this stuff. It starts taking this course on the woman, and, it weighs on her conscience. She can't act like, oh, it doesn't bother me. It will bother you when you're 32, 33, 34, 35, and all you can get is these hookups. And none of these guys want to take you to the company picnics, to the family get-togethers, to anything public because they're embarrassed. Or maybe they feel like, somebody knows you from somewhere. So, yeah, OnlyFans is great. Make your money, do your thing, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You're living a life, but long-term down the road, do you think that will allow you to have husband material? And maybe you don't care. You can have a kid. I don't need a man. Well, you don't need a man, but your child needs a man in their life. They need a dad. They need somebody that's going to be there to teach them things that you can't teach them. I don't care how great, you think being a single mom is and, raising your kid. I raised them. They went to college. Yeah, they did all that, but there's still a void. And your child will try to find that void later in their life through relationships, making mistakes, trying to figure out why they can't have a man, a husband or a wife in their relationship. So even though you maybe have broke the cycle and were a single parent, doesn't mean you have to perpetuate that in your child. You got to think bigger than yourself, man. It's not about you. And you're shaking your ass, putting it in the air. Do you think that makes you desirable? That's hot? These girls in the middle of the street? That's nasty, man. Don't nobody want to. That thing, man, everybody's violated it. Yeah, your body, your choice. Do what you want to. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you don't want to be 50, 60 alone and, wishing you had what you see the other women have, going to dinner, celebrating birthdays, Christmas, holidays, taking trips. And here you are with some woman's group. Yeah, we independent. Yeah, but you're all 60, lonely, trying to find religion or hopefully find you somebody in a church or whatever the case may be. You're not happy, man. You're lying to yourself. You're not happy. You can talk all that mess you want. You wish you had a warm body, a hard thunder next to you, thundering that thing at night. And you wish you would have had somebody to discuss those situations maybe when you're raising your child and you needed to make choices, and maybe you needed another voice, another input, somebody outside, somebody that was also involved in making that child. Think about that, man. Think about that. And like I said, you're talking to an ex-porn star criminal. And here I am giving you advice. And I'm not saying that you should follow my advice. You can do what you want. You can say negative stuff about this video. You can call me whatever. But I'm just telling you, I wouldn't want my daughter to be a stripper. I wouldn't want her to aspire to be an OnlyFans star. I wouldn't want her to aspire to be out here selling her ass. I would rather her find value in other methods, even though it might take her longer, but long term, I feel she would be a better person with value in herself. Because, you know, when you sold yourself in that sense, you don't realize it. When you're 19, 18, 19, 18, 21, 22, you don't think about it. But talk to a lot of these people in their late 40s and 50s and see if they have the same attitude. I don't think the same as I did when I was in my 20s. When I was 18, things I would never entertain that I did back then. Crazy shit. So I'm just trying to give you a little game, man. Leave a comment, share the channel. Let's create a discussion here about high valued women, relationships, and what we can do to move into a more positive state. Big Herc 916. Get your hygiene game up. Go wash your ass. Go to bigherc916.com and pick you up one of our bundles of soap. We have oatmeal milk and honey, monkey farts, butt naked scrub, island citrus scrub, cool water, and howling at the moon. And get your nutsack right. Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.